YouTubers, Mike Martins here, Mike Martins channel. Just in my kids' playroom in my new house. Dedicated this gigantic room on the main floor for the kids to play. I made a list. Top 10 reasons why I left Vancouver. And I had to scratch and add and scratch and add and say, oh, maybe this is more important than that. Or maybe this could be more important than that. Or oh, this is relevant, this isn't relevant, or does this resemble the other one I just said? Anyways, here's my top 10 reasons. I took the time to actually think it over and actually put something together, okay? Here he goes. Top 10 reasons why I left the city of Vancouver. Poor infrastructure. The problem is it's an older city, and I think the city was designed for 800,000 people max. And there's about 1,600, maybe 1.6 or 2 million living there now, and it's beyond capacity there. It's way beyond capacity. Gridlock, traffic. It's just can't handle the congestion. Number 9, cost of living. I didn't put it in the top 5 because there's other reasons more main reasons why I left. I would have continued to live there, but the cost of living is beyond. It's like it's more expensive than any other major city and class. Like West Palm Beach is 1/10 of the price. West Palm Beach, you could buy a house for $190,000, and then that same house here in Vancouver is like $4 million. So I don't know how you actually balance that out with the cost of living, right? So cost of living is way beyond. No bang for the buck, no bang for your buck there. Food's expensive, gas, everything that is anything is expensive. 8, massive English barrier at some institutions. Sometimes if I even go into a bank, very huge English barrier there. Big problem. And the problem is like, oh, well, learn other languages. I speak Spanish and Portuguese fluently. And it did well for me when I was in Miami and Florida, like different places where a lot of other countries take in immigration based on the not how much money they have to come in, but more like, okay, start from scratch, buy a house, put your kids through school, different type of immigration, and that's why it was so social and everyone was so talkative down south. That's why they call it Southern hospitality. But yeah, English barriers is a problem. I've went to a few places, and even the driving, some of those government driving places to get something done, and it's like the English was just horrid, and they couldn't understand me, so they said my English wasn't good. So number 7, one thing that really bothered me the most was dangerous drivers. Oh, I hated dangerous drivers, like especially when you are driving 2 kilometers to get somewhere or 3 kilometer distance, and you almost get into 11 accidents. There's a YouTube channel that backs me up on this called Vancouver Dashcam. The guy just nicely places the camera on his dash and films when he goes to work, and you could see him getting into like almost getting into 19-20 accidents in a 10-kilometer trip to his work, or when he's just driving downtown on one. It's not like it's a compilation of videos where it's like 2 days later he gets this, then 3 days later he gets this on tape. It's just him driving there to there and almost losing his life several times. And it's called Vancouver Dashcam. I recommend you guys look at it. It's so bad. You risking your life driving, and now with me having kids in the back seat, in child seats, I'm not into that. Number 6, entitlement. The whole entitlement thing's got to stop there. The entitlement thing's out of control. The amount of people that are owed, like who's gonna owe it to all these people? The entitlement's way out of control. People walking in front of you. You're waiting for an elevator with a baby carriage, and you have these people walk in front of you and take the elevator and look at you like you've committed a crime. That has to stop. The whole entitlement thing, or people making a lane change, and if you're next to them, too bad. You slow down. They put their signal on. You stop your vehicle, and you let them in. It doesn't matter if you're right beside them and they're on the phone. It doesn't really matter. It's entitlement. You need to know who's entitled and who's top of the heap. And basically the entire, well, not everybody, but a majority of the people walk around with this entitlement thing on them. Number 5, rain. The rain bothers me. It started bothering me the last 2 years. It rains 4 to 8 weeks straight in some months in the winter months. 4 to 8 weeks straight. I prefer a bit of sunshine and some white powder on the floor. 4. One thing I noticed living in Vancouver was a lot of people complained they were always broke. And I'm like, do you work? They're like, yeah, I work 3 jobs. Why are you broke? Well, my rent's this and my rent and my food's that and this and that, and at the end of the month I got nothing. That's hard. That's hard, man. That hurts. 3. This one's very important. Antisocial. The one thing I disliked about the city the most was just people being antisocial. Very antisocialness. People just get out of or get out of their way or go out of their way to make sure they don't have to talk to you. And that fits in with dating. So like if you're a single guy and you're under 5'10", no one would touch you in the city. You'll have a girl 4'9", she wouldn't touch you if you're under 5'10". And that's the whole antisocial thing, is people go out of their ways to avoid you as much as possible. 2, fitting in. Don't know your neighbors. Fitting in is very important because I was there for 9 years and I couldn't fit in even if I tried. I'm here first week, I know all my neighbors, I'm hanging out, we're playing board games, we're doing things, and I'm in Vancouver for 9 years and I just couldn't fit in there no matter what I did, or who I spoke to, or who I knew, or who I connected with. You can't fit in. That was my feeling. That's how I feel, so if other people could be having a way better experience than me, which is great. And number 1, hatred. I just hate the hatred. People, when you're driving in your car, people look at you from their other cars. The amount of hatred people have for each other, not just driving, just when you're approaching an escalator at the same time as someone else, they avoid to look at you. They just don't, you could feel the hate off them, oaring off like a beacon coming off them. You know what I'm saying? The hatred is beyond, it's at a gas station, walking in the mall, walking by somebody, you could just feel they have this either sense of entitlement coming off them or this massive hatred coming off them. Like, people a greedy, lots of greed, and that leads to hatred, and people getting ripped off, that leads to hatred and being bitter. And another thing that leads to hatred is not having no money. So when people are broke and they have no money, it leads towards hatred, and people just outright just hate each other, hate their neighbors, gossip about everybody. And hatred, I think, is a big problem when I was living there. Here, you just don't feel it. There's no traffic. Everyone's so, compassionate to each other, and I left. So before you comment below and say, get out of the city, we don't need you here. I'm already gone. So I just wanted to leave this with you guys. This is just my top experiences. That's outside my shop. That's outside, in my shop, it's I'm always, hey guys, how's it going? Not pretending to be, because that's the only time I'd be happy is when I'm at the shop, because you actually talk to people, because people, the guy works at the store, you gotta kind of talk to him, right, type of thing. But once you leave that atmosphere, it's back to, it's almost like I like to go to certain restaurants in Vancouver where you walk in and the girls are like, hi, how are you? I'm like, no, I just came here because I feel so welcomed here every time I walk in. I'm just going to get a coffee and sit here for 3 hours. No problem. Have a seat here. And then you see them on the street the next day. They're at the bus stop and you're like, hey, how's it going? They're like, but yeah, anyways. Let me know what you guys think. Comment below. What are your which ones stick out to you guys the most? A lot of people would probably say the rain. A lot of people would comment on the rain. A lot of people would probably agree with me and fitting in. A lot of people would agree with me with the dangerous driving. I'm not sure. Let me know. Check out the YouTube channel called Vancouver Dashcam. Guy puts it on there. Does one trip from here to, let's say, to the pharmacy, and you'll see how much problems he gets himself into just going to the pharmacy. Anyways, let me know. Comment below.